Hi guys, welcome to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be watching a bit of storybooth animations where it's just like real life stories, like for example Mean Mum, there's a few there, like Halloween Kiss. An older boy took advantage of me. It's real story animation, it's real life but animations, and I don't know what that is. Anyway, so it's just like story animations that's happened in people's lives, and so yeah, I'm just gonna thought I could react to it with you guys. But anyway, the first one we will be watching is Don't Judge Me Cause I'm a Goth. So here we go.
I am a goth, and being a goth is pretty hard. I get so many remarks every day, like, "Hey, Wednesday Addams, where's your brother?" Or, "Hey, Morticia, where's Gomez?" Or, "Hey, Halloween ended." I remember two instances that really got underneath my skin. So the first instance was back last winter, and I was walking to Walgreens, and I approached the parking lot, and this little boy is just staring at me, like, pretty awkward and pretty uncomfortable, so I decided just to smile and wave, you know. He, like, whirled his head around and looked up to his mom and goes, Mommy, that girl looks dead. Should we help her? Should we help her?" And at first the mom was just kind of confused, and then she turned to me and just let out this giant dramatic gasp and then covered her child's eyes and goes, "Honey, don't look, she'll curse you." And then she just glared at me and started calling me a witch. And so I just ignored her, and I'm like, okay, crazy lady, just gotta go get my cough drops and I'll be done with her. And then when I came back out, she was still there and she was still chanting witch underneath her breath. And then I noticed that she had the charmed necklace around her neck, and I just kind of chuckled. She's all, "What's so funny?" And I'm like, well, you're calling me a witch when you have the Wiccan symbol around your neck, and you know the word witch comes from Wicca, which I am not. So yeah, don't be so judgy and don't shield your son from this like it's a horrible thing, you know. I just kind of left her there with like her jaw hitting the floor. The second instance really bothered me. I was ringing up my stuff at the self-checkout, and this guy's just staring at me. And I could tell that he was very religious, so I got my receipt, I got my change, my items, and I left. He follows me, grabs me by my shoulders, whirls me around, and goes, "Child, there's more to this life than worshipping the devil. Please, don't shroud yourself in darkness." I mean, the guy acted like I was going to be forever cursed in the pit of hell, but I just kind of snapped. And I was like, you know what? It's Bible thumpers like you that depict gods as satanic and evil, okay? I'm not sacrificing children. I'm not slitting people's throats. I'm not drinking goat's blood and running naked in the woods, okay? It's a fashion choice, not a religious thing. Can you please pull your head out of your butt and realize that? And FYI, sir, I grew up in a Christian household and I live behind two churches, alright? So don't tell me I'm satanic before you get to know me. So there. And then I left. And the look on the guy's face, I will never forget it. It was a mixture of like, holy crud, she's right, and oh my lord, what did I just do? You know, so what? I'm goth. It's just my decision what I wear and how I look like. I'm me, and I wouldn't want to be anyone else but me.
That is the truth, guys.
Oh my god, and we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way to shore because the dog chased us all the way to the end.
Guys, that is still true. If anyone tries to do that, you know, just tell them it's a fashion choice and need to calm down. Stuff like that. Anyway, guys, moving on to the... Okay, the next one we're going to be watching is going to be called... I catfished on dating apps to get attention from boys.
So, me and my friend were sitting in the gym, and it was towards the end of 5th grade year. We decided, play a little joke on guys we didn't know. So, we decided to make a fake Kik account and set the profile picture as a girl we didn't know. She was a model. I knew nobody really knew her because she wasn't that famous. And a lot of guys started rolling in like, "Wow, you're gorgeous. Hey, can I get your number? What's your name, beautiful?" Things that, guys never said to me. I enjoyed it, So I was like, hey, let's continue doing this. So we continued doing it, just playing jokes throughout the whole school day. And it was time to go home, so we just stopped. When I got home, I was like, hey, let me make a new account. I can get that attention because I enjoyed the attention that I got when I was there with my friend. So I made the account and I started talking to guys I didn't know. Started lying about my age, telling them I was 16 or 17 when I was really 13. A couple months later, my mom went through my phone and she caught the messages and she was asking me, why would you do this? You are only 13. You don't need to be doing stuff like this. She yelled at me, rah, rah, rah. I got grounded and my phone got taken away from me. A couple months later, I got my phone back and I promised myself that I wouldn't get back on Kick. Unfortunately, I did get back on Kick and I did catfish still. I did get a lot of graphic messages. They were all very sexual. Some asked how old I was. Of course I lied. I told them I was 17. Then I got caught again my 9th grade year. My mom fussed at me. She was like, why are you still doing this? This is creepy. You shouldn't be using other pictures of a girl you don't know. I didn't want to tell her the real reason of why I did this. I kept it to myself. And it's sad because I used to get called ugly all the time. And I don't want to cry or anything like that, but I used to get called ugly all the time. And it's sad because I used to go through so much when I was younger and stuff. I used to get jealous of my friends because they were so pretty and they had boyfriends and stuff. And I used to wait for so long to find someone who loved me for me. Years later, I realized that you don't have to prove to anybody that you're pretty. You don't need the attention. I mean, you can get the attention from a guy who actually loves you for you, not a guy who wants pictures from you or anything like that. So I stopped towards the end of my 9th grade year. I have high self-confidence, and yeah, that's my story. Thank you.
Wow, guys.
Thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. We're big fans of Audible because, as you know, we love stories and Audible has a huge selection of audiobooks to listen to. Right now, we're listening to Wonder, which we love because it reminds us of how important it is to never judge people from the outside. Audible has some great features like adjusting the speed of your audiobook and free exchanges. So if you don't like your book, you can exchange it for another one. And your books are yours to keep, even if you cancel your membership. To get a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial, go to audible.com/storybooth or text storybooth to 500-500. That's audible.com/storybooth or text storybooth to 500-500. Info is in the description below. Happy listening!
Oh my god, and we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way ashore because the dog chased us all the way to the end.
Okay, so the next one we're going to be watching is a bit scary one. So if you are a bit scared, then this is warning. If you're a bit scared, you'd have to watch this one. You can if you want, but not my choice. Okay. Here we go.
On Friday the 13th, my friends and I decided to plan a sleepover. So we decided to have it at my friend Marissa's house. So we were at her house and we had some dinner. It was really good. We actually had some masticholi. We were just sitting at the table talking, and one of my other friends, we'll call her Haley, she was like, oh my gosh, we should go play the Ouija board now because they knew that I brought it. So I was like, okay, let's go. Let's go in the basement. It'll be fun. So we're playing and I start getting really freaked out. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get possessed, oh my gosh. Because I was so scared that, because we talked to this really mean ghost, I thought we were, but it was really spelling something else out. Tears are, streaming down my face, and I'm just oh my gosh, so I kept saying, I could see it. It was, in the mirror. It was really scary. So then I was like, we need to talk to it again to see what it wants. We talked to this ghost named Dan, and his wife's name is Gina, and he kept saying 40 cuts in the bathtub, and then 790, we looked it up, it means love and comfort. So we were like, do you want us to love you? And he said he has a daughter. And eventually we got this story that he had a daughter and she was kidnapped and then she killed herself, I guess. She died, and it was really, really sad. So we felt bad, and I kept wanting us to dig him up. And he said he was under the house, he was under the floor. So, I was getting really scared, and, he said the ghost girl's name was Erin, and she was 12, and she was turning 13 the next day. So we were like, do you want us to sing happy birthday? And he said yes, and we said at midnight, and he said no, and I said what time, and he said 6. So I was like, oh gosh, we had to wake up 6 in the morning. So then like everyone started getting creeped out, so we had to like stop because not everyone was like comfortable with it. So we stopped playing, and I put it away, and I was terrified. I was like, I'm not comfortable with some of the things he said. I was just like really upset. So I called my sister and I was like, dude, this is what happened. And I told her the story, and I was like, I am so scared. I was crying. Like, it was bad. I was crying really hard, and I was like, I don't want to get possessed. So she's like, oh, it'll be okay. Just be glad that you said goodbye. I mean, you're still stupid. And I was like, okay. So I hung up on her because I was mad. And I just got so scared, and my anxiety got really bad that I was like, I can't sleep over. So I texted my mom, and my mom is like, okay, I'll come and get you. And my mom, she took me home, and she's like, leave that board in the garage. It is not coming in the house. So I was like, okay. When I woke up at 7, and I did sing happy birthday to Erin because I promised Dan that I'd sing at 6. So I sang happy birthday, and I'm good. I just don't like being home alone like I am right now. But that's my story of my scary Ouija board.
Wow, I would never play with a Ouija board, guys. So I found one I'm going to be watching. It's called I Lost My Brother.
Hey, hot stuff.
It
See something
is
you like?
kind of advertised.
I think I lost my appetite.
Jonathan, come on. A little death never killed anybody.
For the last time, stop talking to yourself and get out of my house.
My brother wasn't the nicest person, but we loved each other. And over time, he developed severe depression.
Turn it down.
One day, I was on a class trip, and I was having fun. So we had just finished up for the day, and we were at dinner. And the teacher got a phone call, and her eyes just got a look of terror. And she just pulled me aside and told me that your brother has been found in the bathroom with his wrist slit. My eyes just filled with tears.
Oh, no.
I went home from the trip early, and I didn't get to see him. They said I shouldn't have to see him like it.
Sad.
I went to his funeral, and everyone there was crying. We opened his casket so everyone could see him one last time and say goodbye, and I couldn't go over there. I kind of just had a mental breakdown right then and there at his funeral. I just had to leave and go home. I couldn't take it. I didn't get to see him being buried. I would just lay in my room, not come out, and my mom would bring me food and be like, "Try to eat this, honey." And I would tell her, but I never really ate it. I lost a total of 30 pounds during that time. Eventually, I started to come out more and kind of got to the fact that he was gone. We boarded up his room, and we never went in there. I didn't go to school for about 3 months, and when I finally did, everyone would just stare at me and look at me and just say, "She's really here," and like, "I can't believe she actually came here." I started talking to a therapist because my doctor recommended that. My mom just did everything she could to help me and my sister get through it. One day I saw my mom talking to a guy, and he said, "Okay, so we're going to put the wall right here." And it turns out they were going to board up my brother's room permanently by putting another addition to the wall. I didn't want that to happen, so I told my mom no, but she told me they were going to do it anyway. But before they put up the wall, I went in there, and I took everything out of the room that I wanted to remember him by. The main thing that I wanted to take was one of his best hockey trophies. My brother loved hockey, and he had a great trophy that he got to take home after they won the championship. I saw the trophy, and it sits in my room, staring at me, just taunting me. A lot of the times I walk to the cemetery where he's buried, and I just sit there and talk to him, I guess. I still miss him, and every day I just think, what could I have done?
I'm just freaked out, guys. But that is so sad. What could she have done? She didn't do anything wrong. It is depression. So it is something. she couldn't do. Okay guys, the next one I'm going to be watching, I already know by the name, it's really sad. Look, there we go. Losing a pet. Story of my dog Leo. So sad.
One of the first things I saw when I was born was my dog Leo. He was a golden retriever and he had like long hair and all saggy. He was really adorable. And from like the first moment I really ever saw him in my life, I was just connected to him. We did everything together. We played catch, we rolled in mud, we'd make forts and sit in them all day and watch movies together, and we'd go camping with my dad. He was always with me and followed me everywhere I went. When Leo got older, he started getting sick and tired, and we couldn't play the way we used to anymore. And that made me really upset, but I still loved him like I always had. One day, my mom randomly let me stay home from school, and I just decided that, I'd be with him. We played ball, we played King Leo, we did all the things that I used to do with him, and I just had a smile on my face when I was going to bed, and I was like really happy and thinking of like tomorrow to play with him. In the middle of the night, my mom woke me up. She had like tears, and she told me that Leo was dying in a vet. And I was like panicking. I was running around the room in circles. I asked if I could go say like,
can I just stop that for a minute? That is so sad. Like, he was playing with him, he loved him and everything, and now he's dying. That is so, so sad. Oh my God.
goodbye to him, basically, but he was really far away, and my dad brought him. So when my dad finally got back, he broke the news. Leo was dead, and I was just really, really upset. I stopped crying for like 2 minutes and then hysterically start crying again. When I finally started falling asleep, I kept glancing at the spot he usually slept at, and he just wasn't there. The next day I just kept crying. I didn't go to school. I was so upset. And when we were staring at the grave, I was just crying because I'd never see him again. And it was just really hard because the fact kept running through my head that he's not here anymore. I still miss him and walk in, sometimes forgetting that he's not alive anymore and expecting to see him. But I'm fine now and he's basically still here in my heart. This is my new dog, Van here. He just walked up. Say hi. He's licking his lips. Hey, buddy.
Oh my god, and we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way to shore because the dog chased us all the way to the end.
That is so sad. Aww. Now, you guys probably know, some of you guys probably know how much I love dogs. But, oh, that is so, so sad. Oh my god. I was nervous. Okay guys, hope you liked the video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Goodbye.